Well, I've ordered this from Let's Resin, and I've done it because I think this will be ideal for displaying things at my craft fairs, and also I can make lots of the little trays with it as well. Now, it comes with full instructions, and that's what it looks like when it's finished. So you've got all your metal work here to build your stacked trays. And then you've got your 3, thankfully, they've sent 3 moulds rather than just the 1 in it, which is always great, to make the trays. Now, once I've made the stacking one, I can then continue to make these trays and sell these as well. So I'm going to make those today, and let's get on with that. I want these to really stand out, not only if I decide to sell the trays separately, but I want them to stand out on my stall as well. So I'm going to do each tray slightly different, because that way I can display things differently on it. Now, if somebody comes up to me and says, can I buy the whole thing, then of course I'm going to sell it. So the first one I'm going to be doing in some blue chameleon flakes, scattering those over, because I find that that's less messy doing it like that. I've got my brush, and now I'm going to bring my brush over and burnish those on. And the great thing is, these actually don't take up a lot of resin. They're only, I think it's 9.8 ounces, so you don't need to actually use a deep pour resin with these. You can use your normal 1-to-1 resin. Look how pretty that is. My God, that is gorgeous. So that one's all finished now. I really like that. It looks pretty, and that'll come out brilliantly. This one I need to clean up, because obviously I was so messy with my chameleon flakes that I've got it on this one. And you'd think that I'd use a lot of those chameleon flakes, but actually, look, there's loads left in there, and I've been using this colour for a while. What's the betting I've got some of them somewhere else? And this one, I'm going to put tattoos on, because I really like tattoos in resin, especially for large pieces like this. Now, they'll stick on there like that to start with anyway, but I haven't taken the plastic coating off them yet, because that way, when I turn it over, I can see what my design looks like before I glue them down. Well, I'm not gluing them down, before I attach them to this. Yeah, quite like that. And then in between that, I'm going to be putting butterflies. Don't forget to take your plastic coating off the front of these people, because I'm always forgetting. And then it sticks to the plastic coating once you've wet them, and you can't get it off. You've ruined your tattoo, you've lost them. So I've decided I'm going to put some different coloured ones on as well. I'm not just using those ones, I'm going to put some different coloured ones on, because I've got quite a lot of these butterflies. So now I've got those where I want them, I can turn it upside down, and I can look at that and think, yep, I'm happy with that, and all I need to do is apply them. And all I'm going to be using is water on a sponge. So before I do that, I need to take them off their plastic. So if I just lift that up, the plastic will come off, and then I can put them back down. Well, I think I've removed the plastic from all of them, but there's almost a guarantee that I haven't. One of them won't have it. So what I'm going to do now is just go along these with some water. You don't need to saturate them, but you do need enough water for it to be able to stick down and for the backing to lift off. Just going over there with my sponge. Now I will let this mould completely dry again as well before I pour any resin into it, because I don't want the resin and the water to mix. We know that doesn't work very well at all. And if I need to put any more on, because once I've got these off, there might be gaps that I noticed that are there where I hadn't noticed them when they've got this white backing on. And you know when they're ready to come off, because the backing will start to slide and the tattoo will stay exactly where it is, like that one. Let's try with this. Pull up a little bit of an edge here. Yeah, that's starting to slide. So if I slide it gently like that and then lift as a slide, that should give me a really nice finish. So I'm going to go ahead, take the rest off, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the third tray. So they're all on there now, and that's going to look something like that. I'm quite happy with the amount that I've got on there. I don't think I need any more. And so I'm going to just put this to one side now and let it dry. Actually, I think I might put another one there, another one there. That's all I'm going to do. Well, I've got my resin mixed up now, and what I'm going to do is, for this one, I'm going to do a white background. So I'm going to put some white mica powder in there. I'm not putting any glitter in, which I know is a bit of a surprise, but I only want mica powder because this is really going to help show up those embellishments and tattoos that I've put in there. So now I'm ready to pour. What I'm going to do is lift up the edges first and pour in here to make sure that I get round all these edges, and then I can do a little bit of squidgy widgy before I fill up the rest and into those corners. Now I'm pouring it on a piece of board because that way I can move them out the way, keep them flat, don't spill it as well, and then get on with other things while these are curing. And now I'm going to do a little bit of squidgy widgy in these corners and all the way around these edges as well. Now I can pop a little bit more in, and then I can leave that for a few minutes and burst any bubbles that come up to the top using a long neck lighter. Never a torch, don't forget, you don't want to be burning your molds. And for this one I'm going to be using some blue mica powder because that's a blue chameleon powder I've put in there, and then that will make that look a lot more solid once it's cured. And again, I'll do exactly the same thing. For the third one, I've got a different product that I'm going to put in it, and I'll show you that in a sec. So now I can easily move those over into somewhere else so that I can get on with this third one. And the third one, what I'm going to do is use some sand. I've already got this white mica powder mixed up here, and I'm using some white sand. Now my white sand is probably going to be a little bit contaminated with a few things because I happened to drop it on the floor and I had to scoop it all up. So I'm going to have to pull these bits out as they come across them. I'm going to fill this up to the same height so I know I've got the right amount in there, and then give that, oh look, there's a bit of wood there, and give that a nice mix in. Now if I haven't got enough resin mixed up here, I can always mix up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that needs to be a little bit wetter than that, as you can see. So I'm going to mix up just a little bit more resin and pop in there, and then I'll show you how I'm going to push this into the edges. So that's slackened that off quite a lot now, and it's at the right consistency, and all I need to do is get that in there, and I will need to finger that down into those corners because it is still quite thick, and I want to make sure I get it right the way into all of those corners and into those edges so I haven't got any bits missing. I mean, I will do some squidgy widgy with it, but if not, that won't get in there. And now I poured some over the top. I'm just going to fill those edges up again as I go round. Now I can fill it up completely. Now there is likely to be holes in this one or air bubbles in this one somewhere, because there normally is when I use sand, because it just contains a lot of air, of course. Now I'll leave these about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back with my long neck lighter. And now we'll just leave that to cure up, and we can come back to that tomorrow, have a look at them, and I'll show you how to build the little frame. But these have all cured now, and I'm ready to take them out. This is the one with the sand in, and look at that. Look how beautiful that has come out. I'm really, really pleased with that. And that I will put things that have got colour on, or I will put jewellery and things on that one, and I'll show you how to build the other bit in a minute. This one is the one with the butterflies and the feathers, and the great thing is you can keep making these trays as well, and you don't have to make one at a time because you get 3 tray moulds. Oh, that one has come out so pretty. Look at that. Oh, I love that. And by having the white behind it, it really does allow those tattoos to show up so well. And of course, here's my obligatory sparkly one with the chameleon flakes. I'll definitely be making these trays to sell. Look at that. And that's why it's really important to burnish your chameleon flakes as well, because then you get that beautiful finish to them all the way around. So this should be fairly easy to build. It's a very robust stand, I have to say. So let's have a look at the instruction. Oh, they're the feet. So yes, couldn't be easier. Look, all you need to do is put your little bits into your holes like that. There we are. Get it nice and straight. Put your other bit in here, and that clips on there to stop it moving. And then these fit in like this. I think that's beautiful for presenting things to sell at your craft fair. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Brilliant set. I'll link it in the description. If I've got a discount code, I will put the discount code in the description as well. But if nothing else, you get it and you can keep making these great sized trays, and you could have these dotted around with a price tag on and have stuff on to sell. Well done, Let's Resin. I really like that. Boot the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out the video that I've got coming up next. I'm sure you're going to like that one as well. But most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.